President.
The senator from Tennessee.
Thank you, Madam President. Last month alone, more than 100,000 migrants crossed our southern border. Our ports of entry are overrun. Holding facilities are packed, and yes, our Border Patrol agents are absolutely exhausted. They are exhausted. This isn't just a logistical challenge. It's a tragedy made worse by the Biden administration's disastrous open borders policies. The crisis is escalating, especially for the tens of thousands of children who have arrived in this country very much alone. Unaccompanied minors accounted for nearly 10% of all migrants who crossed our border last month. That's roughly 10,000 children a month walking into chaos. Anyone paying a bit of attention knows what's going on here. Customs and Border Protection has been sounding the alarm on the connection between children and human trafficking for years. The coyotes, the cartels, and the gangs use children as drug mules. They use them as sex slaves. If you don't believe me, ask anyone with the CBP why they administer pregnancy tests to little girls as young as 13 as soon as they arrive at the border. This is a heartbreaking situation. These children are living in hell, and it's getting worse. False claims of family ties have fueled a rise in fraudulent asylum claims and in human trafficking. Adult migrants are making arrangements with cartels and smugglers to borrow children. They claim kinship and use that relationship to bolster a fraudulent asylum claim. And what do they do when they've gotten what they want? They send the child back across the border to start the entire nightmarish process with another stranger. That is correct. This is called child recycling. But I think recycling is an odd choice of words to describe one human being treating another human being like a piece of garbage. Again, this is heartbreaking. If you want to get an idea of how big a problem we have, consider that the Department of Homeland Security says that over the past decade, they've seen a 1,675% increase in asylum cases. In 2019, Immigration and Customs Enforcement implemented a pilot DNA testing program to try and stop this rampant exploitation. They found that 20% of all kinship claims they were able to screen were a lie. 20%. This is a humanitarian crisis, an environmental crisis, and a health and safety crisis. And the Biden administration has lost control of this situation. But there are things we can do right now to protect these children and to put the smugglers in check. This week, I introduced the End Child Trafficking Now Act, which would require our border agents to administer DNA tests to adult migrants claiming kinship with a minor without the legal documentation to prove it. If the adult refuses, they'll be immediately deported. Furthermore, the bill mandates a 10-year penalty for all alien adults who lie about their relationship with a minor. The test is simple. It takes about 90 minutes. 90 minutes could mean the difference between that child finding safety in the United States and that child being dragged back to a cartel. We're on pace to see 17,000 more unaccompanied minors arrive this month. ICE proved this testing strategy can help protect them. There's no valid fact-based reason not to do it. As if in legislative session, I ask unanimous consent that the Judiciary Committee be discharged from further consideration of S 903 and the Senate proceed to its immediate consideration. Further, I ask unanimous consent that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.